Alright, today I'm doing a small video on a 1999 60 horsepower Yamaha two-stroke outboard. This is C60, which I've heard stands for commercial. You mix your gas and oil in this one. It doesn't have the automatic mixer. You may have a hard time hearing me while I'm outside. We've had real bad winds today up here in South Carolina. But what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to actually change the spark plug coil wire on this boat, and it's not a very big job. Alright, today I've got a 1999 C60 two-stroke Yamaha. I've been told the C stands for commercial. It doesn't have the oil injection reservoir. It's not an auto mix. I mix it myself in the gas tank, which I've got to say I like better. That way I know it's getting the oil. Some people say, oh, the oil mix is better, simply for the fact that it's variable ratio. The lower your RPMs, the less oil it gets. The higher RPM, the more oil it shoots into it. Yeah, that may be true. But when that thing breaks and doesn't give an alarm and you're dry running your motor, you just had a $7,000 mistake. So pre-mix gives me a little bit of an easy feeling. I know I've got the oil in my gas tank. Anyway, what I'm doing now is I just marked these coils 1, 2, 3, just simply for the fact I put them back in the same spot that I got them from. I'm trying to do this on my cell phone, so please forgive any of the bad videography here. Well, what we're doing today is replacing these plug wires. These plug wires, like I said, this motor is a 99, and it doesn't appear they've ever been changed. Each coil is numbered. You can see a number there. They just unplug. Pretty simple to do. And there you have the coil assembly. I'm going to go ahead and do all three of these. I always like to put my bolts back in where they came from. That way I don't have to search for them whenever I go to reinstall. Changing the coil wires out on a 1999 C60 TLRX. It's been a great little motor. I bought this from Charleston, South Carolina, and it was a saltwater motor. I think the guy did the best he could as far as you know, flushing the motor, doing maintenance on the motor. I've seen worse saltwater motors, but as you can see, there is some fitting around the head gasket valve, the head gasket here. And also, if you notice on my water pump, I've got a different bolt here. This was actually seized up. I had to tap the thermostat housing out to get that bolt out. Like I said, these wires are, 12, 13, 14 years old now. So I'm all about preventive maintenance. You can see a date code on the back of this thing, 1998 coil. We'll set this phone down just so I can unplug this coil wire. Like I said, they're all numbered 1, 2, and 3. And again, this is a 1999 60 horse. There's my carburetors. I went through them when I first got them. Still getting a little bit of a rich state on this motor. Not really sure why. I'm thinking about going back through the carbs again, check float height, that sort of thing. This main video is for these coil wires. And if you give me just a second, I'll be in here where maybe I can set up a way where you guys can watch me replace these coil wires. Okay, so what I did was I went to O'Reilly's, which is a auto parts store. I went all over them in South Carolina looking. Finally got online, found one that had it. And for this particular brand of Yamaha, I don't know how well you can see this, but that's Hypalon ignition wire, copper conductor. And that's pretty much the type of wire you need to do this change out. Trying to find a good place to set the camera up here so you guys can watch me change these coils. Maybe I'll give you a straight down view. Maybe I won't. Okay. So I've got the engine coils here. And I think a lot of people don't realize that these type wires are screw-in. Basically, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You unscrew this wire, and basically inside the looks like they've got some type of sealer on here, which I may put a little bit of silicone or something like that. We'll try to get this thing where you can see down inside of it. Now that's going to be a tough job. Anyway, there's a screw down in there, which these wires screw in on. And believe it or not, it's the same on the boot. The boot end. I'm going to go ahead and remove this boot. And you just pretty much take this moisture barrier collar, or whatever you want to call it, off, slide it back, and then your boot just unscrews off of your wire. There. This is how they disassemble. And you might be able to see the screw down portion inside of the boot a lot better. You can see the screw in there. That's what your wire screws in on. That's the reason you have to have the copper core or tinned copper core. An inductive spark plug wire, I'm not sure it would work. These actually, the ones that were on there, had absolutely no markings, but you could see in the wire itself now these are so old you can't hardly see it. There is some wire inside of this, just like there is in the new wire. Now, what I'm going to do next is just very simply, well, I say very simply if I ever get this camera set back up, I'm going to cut new wire. Now, I'm not going to cut the exact same length. What I want is a wire about 2 inches longer than what I've got. And the reason for this is, in the future, if I ever have a spark plug problem, and I've only got the bare necessity of length that I need, I don't have any room to trim to repair a bad faulty spark plug wire. So I'm going to make them about this much longer, and that way in the event of an emergency, I get stranded out on the lake, whatever, due to a spark plug wire, I can trim off the end that has no conductivity and get a working spark plug wire again while I'm out on the water. I'll be right back. I got to get a cutter. Alright, so basically what I'm going to do is, all of these spark plug wires are pretty much the same length. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm just going to measure out the same length as to what I have, and then add about 2 inches. So that will give me some repair length if I ever have to. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Not extremely happy the way this cut. But anyway, you replace your boot. You may want to get some silicone, put around the wire. The wire goes back into the coil and screws in. Now this is supposed to be 7 millimeter, which I'm finding, yeah, looks about right. And that's all there is to it. So I'm going to be doing more videos on this motor, simply for the fact that I haven't found that much information on YouTube for this specific motor. It's a 1999 C60 TLRX, I believe, TXRL, whatever, 1999. And it's the commercial model. I want to give you guys a few bits of information. The carburetor adjustments on it are 1 3/8 turns out, which is the only year that did 1 3/8 turn on this motor. Why they did it, I don't know. Maybe they changed the carburetor a little bit. Really not sure. And a 1/4 turn in either direction to get your fine tune. But 1 3/8 turn out on the carb is your initial setting. Timing at idle, using a timing light, is 7 degrees, plus or minus 1 degree. And that's all I got for you today. Y'all come back and watch my next video on Yamaha outboards. Thank you.